Inheritance anxiety is one of those family secrets that rarely make it to the dinner table until it's too late. The mention of a will, a treasured ring, or the family home can transform even the closest siblings into strangers, sitting in heavy silence, each lost in their own swirl of worry and expectation. The truth is, inheritance anxiety isn't just about dividing assets, it's about what those assets represent. The longing not just for money or property, but for acknowledgement, fairness, and the affirmation that you mattered in the story of your family. So, what exactly is inheritance anxiety? At its core, it's the quiet tension that arises when questions of legacy begin to hover. Who gets what should be kept, and what should be let go? Will I be remembered or overlooked? These questions don't wait for funerals. They begin years, sometimes decades before. The reason it stings so deeply is that inheritance is never just a transaction. It's a reflection of how we see ourselves within the family. A cherished photograph, a worn-out chair, a piece of jewelry. Each object becomes a symbol, loaded with meaning far beyond its monetary value. Sometimes, the smallest item can spark the largest argument because it stands for something much greater. Love, favoritism, or even past hurts that have never fully healed. Why do these moments become so emotionally charged? The psychology runs deep. Inheritance taps into primal needs: belonging, recognition, closure. For parents and elders, there's the hope that what's left behind will reflect who they were and what they stood for. Will their children remember them for their values, or only for their valuables? For sons and daughters, there's the unspoken question: did I matter as much as my siblings? Was I seen for who I am, or simply as a name on a legal document? When these feelings are left unspoken, assumptions take root, twisting grief into resentment and turning a time of mourning into a battlefield. But there are ways to break this cycle. 3 intimate strategies that can transform inheritance from a source of pain into a foundation for lasting peace. First, talk early and talk honestly. Don't wait for a crisis to start the conversation. Share openly about what matters most and why certain decisions are being made. When parents explain the reasons behind their choices, it can prevent misunderstandings and offer comfort, even if the outcome isn't what everyone hoped for. Second, remember that legacy is more than what's written in a will. Include emotional inheritance, stories, letters, traditions, and values. Sometimes what resonates most are the memories and wisdom passed down, not the financial assets. A recorded message or handwritten note can become a treasured keepsake, affirming a bond that survives the passage of time. Third, clarify and document your intentions. Legal documents are important, but so are the conversations that surround them. When expectations are clear, there's less room for heartbreak and less chance that grief will give way to conflict. By being transparent and thorough, families can avoid the ambiguity that so often leads to disputes. Ultimately, the inheritance that matters most isn't property, it's peace. Legacy is built from the stories we share, the values we emphasize, and the love we express while we still can. If you've ever witnessed family tension over inheritance, you know how lasting those wounds can be. But by addressing these issues openly and compassionately, you can ensure that what's passed down isn't just wealth, but understanding, connection, and harmony. Remember, the time to build that legacy is now, before the silence becomes permanent.